Often hear that a lot of the things that people had the most regrets with in life are the things that they simply regretted. Maybe it was something that they wanted to do, but they didn't do. Maybe it was something that they did do and they just wanted to make right. Maybe it was just not living up to their full potential, not having the confidence to believe in themselves and to go wholeheartedly after their visions, their dreams, their goals, and just feeling like a failure, like they didn't have the capabilities to just really believe in themselves. And I think that is the story of so many people. And today I want to talk about one of the things that hold us back the most, which is the spotlight effect. The spotlight effect, you would think this is something glamorous. You usually think about the spotlight effect when you think of people on the stage, right? And they have this big bright spotlight that's highlighting them because they are the main act. That's likely what most people think about when they think about the spotlight effect. But it's actually something more intense than that. And actually, in a not so good way, how we visualize it in our heads. But I'm going to help you break it down, help you to be able to see yourself in a more positive and a more holistic way that's going to help you move forward in life. And that's going to help you bet on yourself, take more chances, increase your confidence, all of those things, okay? So, if you're new here, hello, my name is Ameka Coleman. I am the founder and CEO of Strands of Faith, and I'm also a mental wealth advocate. That's the part that I'm most proud of is the mental wellness advocate piece because I truly believe that wholeness, peace, joy, all those things come from the state of our mind, the stability of our mind. And a lot of the issues that we deal with in life comes from our beliefs, our thoughts, our mind. And so that's what I want to talk about today, the spotlight effect. And so what is the spotlight effect? The spotlight effect is basically, so it is a true psychological phenomena, and it's when we think that people are spotlighting us in a way in which they truly aren't. So in other words, we think that all the attention is on us, specifically and especially when we mess up, when we have missteps, when we miss the mark, when we fail, when we drop the ball, any negative thing you could think of, put it in that moment, right? And that's what it means to be spotlight or spotlit. We think that people are shining a light on our failures, when in reality, that's simply not true, right? It can feel like all the attention is on us when we fail, but most people are just literally trying to get through life in a sane fashion themselves. They're trying to work through their mess, work through their chaos. They're trying to figure out what their next steps are, plan their future. They're just simply trying to get through the day, taking it a step at a time. And so they don't really have the capacity to worry about us in the way that we think. But in our mind, for some reason, this little thing in here, like it can be tricky, and it can try to, get us to think thoughts that aren't true, and to just get us all tripped up. And so while we're thinking that people are spotlighting us and highlighting us in the ways that they really aren't, what that's doing is holding us back. It's preventing us from taking whatever step that we need to take. Is preventing us from moving forward. It's preventing us from trying new things. Like, how many times do you get an idea? How many times do you get a glimpse of a vision, something that you want to try, something that you want to do? And then one of the first thoughts is, what are they going to think about me? What is so-and-so going to say? What if this person don't approve? You know, what if they say, who are you to do that thing? You aren't qualified. You are doing this. Now you're trying to do this. You're all over the place. Like, what are people gonna say? And that thought alone keeps you stuck and stagnant. Number one, it keeps you not moving forward. It keeps you not even trying. And at the end of life, that's what I was saying initially about the regrets. That's where the regrets come from, because ultimately you didn't do something or try something that you wanted to do. Forget everybody else, right? And so that's what the spotlight does. It keeps us stuck, man. It robs us. And I just really, think that the world would be so much better if we each, number one, got out of our own way and just do the things that God called us to do and walk into our purpose like faster, quicker, and stop second guessing the things that don't really matter. And so I guess my question to you is, what spotlight effect have you been putting on yourself that really isn't coming from nobody else, but it's coming from the inner turmoil of your mind of what you think people are saying about you and it's holding you back? And so a few tips that I have for you is, number one, you have to get to the point to where you can start trusting yourself, trusting your vision, trusting your voice more than anybody else. It's like you putting yourself to the forefront. It don't matter what anybody else think, because if you can do that, then you will find that you'll be more willing to take the leap of faith. You will be more willing to just take that step forward to do the things that you want to do, and not worrying about if anybody else is going to hop on board with you. Yes, it's great to have the support. Yes, it's great to have the validation, but sometimes you're going to have to step out there alone, right? I know, many times you hear about people who've made it in life and they're successful. And one of the things they usually say is that people didn't believe in me in the beginning. People came on board, once the train started moving. And so you just have to mentally take a note of that and know that that's okay. So you have to be the first person to believe in yourself. You have to be the first person to take your ideas seriously. You have to be the first person to bet on yourself. Bet on yourself, invest in yourself. And when you start to do that, you're going to find that it starts to compound. Your confidence is going to start to increase, because you're going to say, okay, I kept the promise to myself. I said I was going to do this. I said I was going to try this, most importantly. And you tried that thing. And whatever result you got from that thing, whether it was considered a success or a failure, you now have a lesson to guide you to move forward. And you take that piece of information as data and allow it to dictate your next move or your next step. And so that's, one of the ways that you can take the spotlight off yourself, make it null and void, like it don't exist in your life, and you be in control of your own narrative. Is to believe in yourself. You also have to give yourself grace, okay? Know this. Anything you do in this life, you aren't going to be perfect at it, especially if you're starting something for the very first time. If you're starting something for the very first time and you don't have experience in it, then guess what? You get good at that thing by way of experience. And so the more you do something, the better you get at it. And so you have to learn how to show yourself grace through and through and through and through. You know how you be showing other people grace? When they drop the ball, or when they treat you bad, or when they miss the mark, that same grace you give to other people, you got to give that grace to yourself, sis. You got to give that grace to yourself, bro, because many times when you're going through new seasons, or when you're learning new things, you aren't going to always get it right. And I think when you adopt that mindset early on, it actually helps to add to your follow through, your see through, to push through, because you're like, okay, if you can forecast it out and say, okay, I'm starting this new thing and there's a 20% chance that it may take off, there's a 20% chance that it may not, then you can step into that thing fully, giving it your all, and then knowing that if it did not fully push through, you say, okay, I give myself grace in this moment. I did the thing. Woohoo! Pat yourself on the back because you did that, right? And then again, you take the lessons and you go to something else. You start something else, or you start that same thing from a new angle and new lessons learned, where you could take those same lessons and experiences and apply it to something else. But the most important thing on this journey is you have to show yourself grace. The quicker you can realize that the people who you look up to, your idols, your whoever you model, whoever you think is like the end all be all in your life, in this world, when you realize that those same people are just like you, they put their pants on the same way as you, they brush their teeth the same way as you, they use the bathroom the same way as you, you'll begin to realize that nothing is off limits. There's nothing more special about those people other than the fact that I would guess through life, the consistency got them to where they are. And if consistency is a major factor of success, like we all know, like that's like the ultimate blueprint, then you can reverse engineer backwards and say, okay, if consistency is a part of this model that I should be, making a big overall part of my strategy, that's something I have control over. Let me just be consistent in whatever the thing I'm doing. And while you're being consistent, show yourself grace, and you will find that life gets a bit more smoother, right? Another tip I would say, you cannot, in this life, man, listen, you cannot step out every day and look at other people and compare yourself in any way. When you look at other people, you need to look at them as a canvas, like as, okay, this person did this, they made this happen, so it's possible for me. And no part of your journey, I'm telling you, that you want to slip down the path or down the alley to comparison, because you've heard it before. Comparison is the thief of joy. Hear me when I say comparison is the thief of joy. It'll snatch away your life just like that before you even give yourself a chance to start. You have to realize that we're all on this life journey together, but we're all starting our life from different paths, from different experiences, from different worlds. No two of us are alike in our entire like mental makeup, our environments, the things that we've experienced. And so you do yourself a disservice when you look at this person over here. Let's say if you started a business, right? And this is your first year in business, and you're looking at somebody who's been in business for 10 years. Throughout those period of 10 years, you're looking at their year 10. You're not seeing the startup phase where they were when they were building just like you. And so now to you, it looks like they got the resources, they got the exposure, they got the visibility, they got the awareness. And if you're in your year 1 and you're saying, well, why I'm not there yet? What am I doing? Why am I falling short? Why is this not taking off for me? Again, you're doing yourself a disservice because the playing fields are not equal. And so you have to look at people as the possibility of what can happen for you if you continue down a similar path, but don't look at it as a way of marking your lack or how you're falling short, because I can tell you it's almost never apples to apples, okay? It may be apples to watermelons, apples to oranges, apples to bananas, but it's hardly ever the same. And so if you're looking at something and if you're comparing yourself to something that you think is similar, more times than not, it's not similar. So don't even do it to yourself. You are unique, okay? You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are equipped with the talents and the experience that God has specifically given you. And that is going to be enough to take you to whatever level He has called and ordained for you to extend to. And so please do not compare yourself to other people. Again, back to the spotlight effect. You know, when you think everybody's looking at you, the spotlight is on you. You may think, oh, I'm here. Maybe they're comparing me to this person, or maybe they're comparing me to this person. But no. And let me just say this. I always say this, even if you feel that somebody is putting a spotlight on you, because I'm not saying, when I talk about the spotlight, I'm talking about it in a general sense, right? Like the world, if there's 2+ billion people in the world, 2+ billion people is not spotlighting you, right? Okay. That's real. But yes, are you going to have the occasional people in your circle who may know you, this one person, this person or this group who may look on you and try to, point out your flaws or point out, where you fall short? Absolutely. I mean, that's life. That's what you can call them, your haters, your whoever, whatever name you want to put to that group. Yes, you're going to have those people, but that's just a little small, portion compared to the overall grand scheme of things. And so to those people, I always say that their voices don't matter anyway. They're sent to distract you and to get you off of your purpose and path in life. And if you allow them to do that, then to a certain extent, you allow them to succeed. So you have to block those people out. We ain't even talking about them, right? We're talking about all the things that you have in your control, which starts in your mind. And so I just want you to know that life is mostly what you make of it. Yes, there are external factors. Yes, life happens to all of us. Yes, life be life, right? But when you switch your mindset to say, okay, these are the things within my control, and so this is what I'm going to control, these are the positives I'm going to focus on, then you'll find that your life becomes a little bit more clear. You have a little bit more clarity. Your mental health is positively affected in a much more peaceful way. You don't have all this noise in your head that's unmanageable. I would say that it's unmanageable. And so I would say this: don't discount yourself. You are amazing. You are absolutely amazing. I'm not just saying that. I'm saying that because I know that you're amazing. You have gifts and talents within that you haven't fully tapped into, and I need you to tap into it, okay? And you're going to do some great things in life. You're already doing some great things. And I just need for you to believe it because, again, everything starts at belief in yourself. Everybody else will get on board later, okay? We can't worry about them. They will get on board later, but I need for you to see the greatness in yourself. I need for you to believe it. I need for you to see how your presence here is going to impact the lives of others in a positive, helpful way, and how you're going to help elevate their lives. Like I need for you to believe that because the only way you can do that and make that happen is if you believe it. So that's the message for today. I hope, I said something that resonated with you. Let me know what your takeaways was, what you're struggling with. I just love being on this journey, sharing like some of the things I've been through in life, pulling from the life experiences of other people, and then, packaging it up and sharing it with y'all. That's something that just brings me the most joy. And so I hope that I can continue to make videos like this because I really like it. Keep the faith. Bet on you because God already did.